Hello class. We're going to get started in our sustainable building module. So one of the first things that we need to do is we actually need to draw a sustainable building, sustainable house, so that we can laser cut it, put it together into an actual model of a house and do lots of different experiments and see how we can use the sun, wind energy and see how the sun's energy also affects the temperature of a house. So lots of really cool experiments. I think you guys are going to like this module. And you guys will be able to go home with a cardboard house, and if we have time, you can decorate it and do all kinds of cool stuff. So anyway, let's get this thing drawn. So one of the first things you're going to do is go to File, go to Document Properties. Okay, window should pop up. We want to go to inches for our measurements. So display units, inches, units over here, inches, and then here in this area we're going to change it to 15 inches. Highlight, drag, right? Click, hold, and drag to where it turns blue, and we can just click in our numbers, and we should all be set. So inches, 15 inches. We got a nice square here. Right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on this button, which is Zoom to Fit Page in Window, so that way we can see better and make this thing work. So I have a bunch of measurements here. I went through and measured our styrofoam powerhouse, which was a little kit that we are going to make our own model from. So I've got a bunch of measurements written down, so I'm going to go off of those and we're going to draw it here on the screen. So one of the first things we need to do is draw a 6 3/4 inch line. And the best way to draw lines is with the Bezier tool. Click that, and we'll start down here in the corner because we don't want to draw on top of the edge of the paper, but we want everything to fit. So we'll leave a little bit of room. Click about right there. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to drag up. Now, once you drag up, I want you guys to pay attention down at the bottom of the screen. The numbers go up. So look for the inches, and you'll see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it goes up. Okay, so we want 6 3/4. 6 3/4 I know is 6.75. So let's get to 6.75. And to make sure the line is straight, I'm going to hold the CTRL, the control key down, and that'll make sure that I draw a straight line. So click once, it turns green. Double click, it will actually set your line. Okay, if you're, and then it wants me to draw another line. So I'm going to hit the escape key to turn off that tool. So if you don't have a black line drawn and there's some issues going on, you know, give me a holler, and I'll show you what to do. And I may also have to create like either another video or manual to make it so you guys can set it up back to the default settings. So anyway, mine is set up. Yours might be set up a little bit differently. Okay, next line we need is an 11 1/4 inch line. So Bezier tool again. I'm going to start right here where the other line ended. I'm going to drag over, and I want 11 1/4, 11.25. Close as you can get. 11.23 is good enough for me. Just get it super close. All right, so we got that line. Now we need another line right here that's 4 inches, but we need it at a 45-degree angle. And Inkscape has this cool feature. If you come up to the ruler area, click, hold, and drag, you can drag a guideline. This isn't actually a line, it's just a guide for you. But now we can draw on top of this, and we'll have our line will follow this guideline. So Bezier tool, click here, drag, and we want that to be 4 inches, 4, 4, 4. Close as possible. Okay, so I had like 401. That's fine. Okay, and then the next line's pretty easy because we're just going to connect the dots or connect the lines. Bezier tool again. Click here, click there, double click, set it up. Okay, so here's what we got. So if this guideline bothers you, you can get rid of it. Make sure your select tool is chosen. Turn it into a hand, drag it up to the ruler, let go, it's gone. Okay, so we have a weird shaped house. This is our roof line right here. It's a long roof line so that sun can come in and it can do some solar heating and so forth. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we're going to create a triangular window. Here, we'll create a window. Okay, then we'll duplicate this whole thing, right? So I'll show you how to do that, and then we're going to modify our window into a door, and then we'll have our two sides. And we'll save those as separate files so that we can laser cut those separate. And then we'll have 4 other parts that we're going to build. Okay, so the easiest way to draw a triangular window is actually to choose the square tool, and let's draw it up here and then we'll move it. Okay, so we got our square tool. We are going to select it. Click the select tool. If it's not selected, click and drag a box around it. That will select it. We are going to go to path, object to path. Okay, so it made this object to path. Then it allows us to make some modifications with this tool right here. Here's our node tool. Okay, and notice now we have some nodes. Okay, if I click on that node and drag it down, I can make it into a triangle. Try to get it as accurate as possible. Okay, looks like a triangle to me. Okay, so let's see if we can now move it down into here. Now I'm noticing my angle's off a little bit because what I want to do is make it symmetrical all the way around. So let me click on this. Select it actually. Node tool again. Let me see if I can bring that up. I'm noticing that it's bringing one node and not the other, so play around with it a little bit. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, make it look pretty nice. I'm happy with that. Okay, I could have fussed around with it a little bit more to make it perfect. Okay, next thing, let's make a window. Windows are easy because they're just a square. So let's drag out a window. Really, I do have measurements, but if you just eyeball it and make your window look approximately like that, that should be fine. Okay, good enough for that side. So we could call that side 1 if we want, whatever. All right, we need to save this. So let's go to File, Save As. Okay, now you need to be careful about where you're saving. Okay, most likely you will be saving to the desktop, and then you can upload your file into your Google Drive so it's inside of your secured area of your Google Drive. But for now, let's just choose desktop, right? And we're going to call this side 1. As a matter of fact, let's call it side 1 and then your name. I'm just going to call it Mr. T. Okay, side 1, Mr. T. That way, if there's other students that have files saved on the desktop and we get confused, we can find yours. Okay, so we're saving that. Don't close this, keep it open. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to File, Save As, and we're going to call this side 2. So now really we have 2 of these same files. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to modify the side 2 one, and we're going to make this window into a door. So click it, click your little node tool, and let's shape that into a door. A pretty good door to me. Let's move it. Select tool. So move that into position. And it looks like from my drawing, the door is approximately right there. Okay. So then save it again. And what it'll do is it'll save the change that you just made. So that's a real easy way if you have a lot of duplicating of things. You can create, go to Save As, okay, give it a different file name. It'll be the same file you're working on, modify it, save it again, and now it's its own file. Okay. So I think what I will do here is start a new video because I've got a 15 time limit on here, and I don't think I'll be able to get the rest of the sides done in this video. So I will see you in the next video to create the rest of your parts. So tune in.